Hey, y'all. Hey. Come on in. Please hit the like button for me. What y'all know about that Heavy D? Rest in peace. Here we go. What we gonna do? What was all red, balance off blue. Get your way out, do what I got to keep it bubbling. Do me like my lonesome dove. Tell your man one time, what is this thing called? I'm not quite sure if the water's going down, but I'm feeling one glory. Hey. I don't know, baby. Rest in peace. The heavy D. What are we gonna do with it? All right, I needed me some upbeat music that will be deleted from the live. But thank you guys so much. Thank you for joining me for this Saturday night live, Hot Topics Live. If you have not hit the like button, please go ahead and hit the like button for me. Shout out to the cutie mods in the building. I see Linda Gamble. Linda, prayers going up to your daughter. I had no idea until I just scanned the comments. So prayers going up. Shout out to Linda Gamble. Teresa Wright, love you. Thank you so much for what you sent me on Instagram earlier today. I needed that. Aunt Debbie in the building. Aunt Debbie, you know I love you. Let's see. Any more cutie mods in the building? Shout out to the Cutie crew. Thank you guys so much for our morning brew this morning. Loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I did. You guys sipping tonight? I just made me a mojito with double Tito's. Yes, I did. With a little lemonade. Just a tad bit. Hi, Yvonne. How are you? I saw someone else. Let me scroll down. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to get into the topics. So if I don't say hello to you guys, you know I love you. Thank you for being here. Miss Cheryl from Seattle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. All right, guys, we're gonna get right on into it. This will probably be about an hour, power hour, late night Saturday night. And I have a couple topics. I think I have too many just for one live, but I want to talk about what's been hot out in these streets. And if any of you want to come up and give me your thoughts, feel free to do so. I'll drop the link. But we know that the CEO of Astronomer, as well as the head of his HR department, were busted at a cold play concert caught on the Kiss Cam. We're gonna be talking about that. Oh, Shannon Sharpe, dummy ass is all I gotta say. Settled out of court. Now, someone in our morning brew earlier said that he settled for 10 million. The true dollar amount has not been released, but I believe that it's more because that's what his team offered initially. And the chick and her lawyer turned it down. So I doubt if they offered the same thing and she took it. Either she doubled that or got a little more. You know what I mean? But we'll talk about that. And then I want to talk to you guys. We're also going to talk about 7-year-old Jamal White's mama. We touched on it over on Patreon. I believe it was Thursday night. We'll get into that. And then last but not least, a therapist, decorated clinical social worker slash therapist, unalived her ex-boyfriend. And I'm going to save that for last because look, as women, hey Pink Diva, how are you, sis? Shout out to the cutie mods. I'm looking on my phone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're gonna save that for last. That's her in the center of this picture here. But look, we're gonna have to. I saw this the other day, and it's true. A lot of women are gonna have to stop ignoring these red flags like they're decorations. You know what I mean? You get a red flag and you take them back, and you get another red flag and you ignore that or sweep it under the rug. This was crazy. So we're gonna talk about it. Yes, Teresa, that's that late 80s, early 90s type thing. Rest in peace again to Heavy D. So oh, Yvonne, it took you back. Yes, yes. You feel like doing the Running Man, peace, love, and light. I'll play it again on our way out. That way I can delete from the beginning and the end. Because if not, child, YouTube, they be tripping. But let's go ahead and get started with the cold play accidental exposure of the CEO of a company called Astronomer. Now, I need to know this chick's secret because both of them were married, and I'm going to put it up on the screen. He's married, and the side chick is married as well, and she's married to a CEO. What we doing wrong, child? How we get them CEOs? She probably a professional. You guys know what some of them Cliff folks train their kids to do early on in life. Do I want to say a child slobbing a knob? She got to be a professional. She snagged her two CEOs, but we're going to talk about it. He resigned today as well. And wow. I have a question about that though. And hey, Danya, I'm willing to debate anybody in the comments. Should he had resigned? We do know that is morally, it's a morally incorrect thing to do. But should he had to have resigned from his job? They put him on leave Friday, and he resigned today. His wife removed his last name over there on Facebook. And I'm sure she's going to be filing for divorce. They just purchased a new home a couple weeks ago. All of the above. It's crazy. It's crazy. But for those of you that's been under a rock, I will play. And yes, prayers going up to Linda Gamble and her daughter. Um, Prayers going up, child, big time, you know. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at how this kicked off. But even on my thumbnail, you guys see that's one thing they do real quick is turn red, child. And he turned red, she turned red, eyes bucked, caught in action. Have you ever been caught on a kiss cam? Have you ever? Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let me move my speaker just a tad bit closer. What's going on over here? Also, before I get into this, don't forget tomorrow, Patroni Cuties and Cutie Crew, we will be watching not that episode, but the reunion, part 2 of Real Housewives of Atlanta's reunion tomorrow. All right, but let's go ahead and look at the, what is it, a deer caught in headlights? Two of them, two of them. It'll start over. It'll start over. Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. They were having an affair, child. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You okay? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. A mess. A mess. So, even here, his wife removed Byron, which is her marital last name, from her Facebook profile, and she went right on back to that maiden name of Kerrigan, Meg Kerrigan. Okay, and it's crazy. It really is. So let me show you guys. He resigned today. And I'll go ahead, shout out to the Shade Room, and read this caption. But it says that Astronomer CEO Andy Byron has tendered his resignation, and CPO Christian Cabot has also seemingly stepped down following a now viral cheating scandal that was captured during that Coldplay concert. The statement included Andy Byron has tendered his resignation and the board of directors has accepted. The board will begin a search for our next chief executive as co-founder, and chief product officer Pete DeJoy continues to serve as an interim CEO. What do you all thought? Oh, child, they copied, they added astronomer. I'm gonna go to that page real quick. But they said Astronomer released a little statement and stated, as previously stated, Astronomer is committed to the values and culture that have guided us since our founding. Our leaders are expected to set the standard in both conduct and accountability, and recently that standard was not met. Thoughts, thoughts, thoughts. Dummy ass for real, Teresa. Here is their page, and they private. Now, this is a public company, and I'm sure with the backlash from this happening, that's the reason why they had to make their page private. Your thoughts, your thoughts, your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you feel like, and I'm split. I'm pausing because I'm split. And I'm really not split anymore. Look, she was the head of HR, and any other employees would have been fired. So yes, I believe that it was the correct thing to do. And he was the CEO. Now, the tripped out part about this is Christian Cabot had just started her position with this company in November of 2024. So she moved on up the ranks, child, real quick, unless that's how she got the job in the first place. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Baby, she about to get the money. Yes, sis. All right. Okay, I see you guys are saying yes, 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 he should have resigned. All right, let me start with Leah's grandma plus one. You said they probably told him resign or be fired. I agree. Now, look, sometimes, most times, a lot of these CEOs, even when they step down, they get hefty, hefty packages on their way out the door. But get the money because the wife gonna get more. That does not matter. They have three kids, he and his wife. And before she put her Facebook page on private, she was showing like content of her and the kids in the kitchen, and she's showing them how to cook, and just typical housewife. But I like that she changed that name ASAP. I really, really do. And that's a hint to his future. Philly Girl said yes, he should have resigned. The BOD probably asked for his resignation. BOD is board of directors. And prayers going up for your family too, Girlfriend Chronicles. Thank you for being here, sis. All right, Cece said, hold on, Cece, let me turn this damn air down to 74. Cece said he needed to resign to spare the continued bad press the situation created for the company. Current and potential investors don't like mess. Also, I wonder if a morality clause was in his contract. Most times they are, as far as the morality clauses. And I agree with you. I do know that it's definitely attention that the company does not want, but it just lets you know how some of these folks be out here moving in these streets very comfortable, very, very comfortable, because he was hugged up with her like that was his wife. You still out in public, whether you went viral for this or not. And that was bold. So his boldness got his ass on a platter. Okay. Gigi said, well, wasn't he leadership of cybersecurity? Cheat on your wife? You can't be trusted. I don't know if he was leadership. He was the CEO. Gigi, he was the CEO. A couple more. Hey, my degree is real. How are you? 57 likes and 99 in the chat. Hit the like button for me. Let's see. Sissy said, child, I don't know. They actually called out his name while showing them on the Jumbotron. Did they? I didn't hear that part. I'm going to go back. Unless they cut that part off as far as the clip that went viral. Did you watch it on the clip, sis? Because, I don't know. I didn't hear that part. But let's take a look again. Let me go back over here and let's put this like this. Let's make sure the volume all the way up. And chow, a mess. A mess. Let's go back. So right there they said, oh, look at these people, says. Either they're having an affair or they're just dirty shot. Now that was her friend. So I'm sure that she told her husband that she was going to the concert with her friend who is also in the HR department at that company. And yeah, she should be let go too. She should be let go too. Because you're condoning it, even though she didn't do anything as far as get caught with somebody else's man or a woman. But you're in HR. You're in HR. You know what I mean? Crazy. All right, let me see what else you guys are saying. Hey, Lulu B. Hello, hello, hello. Girlfriend Chronicles said businesses don't like scandals and moral issues, although most of them, I was just about to say that when I read Cece's comments about the investors. I'll start over. Businesses don't like scandals and moral issues, although most of them CEOs be cheating. Didn't they also fire his assistant who booked the tickets? I don't know. Are they going that far down the rabbit hole? You know what I mean? Now, if he told his assistant, "Hey, book me 3 tickets to go see Coldplay," would the assistant really know what he had in store? Okay, really, Philly Girl. Okay, Philly Girl said the company said no other employees were at the concert. So that other Lady, I guess was just her friend, but not an employee. Thanks. They been cheating. Yeah, I think she got the job based off of that. The small head always make them crumble. Stop thinking with your small head. My degree is real. Look, like I say, this chick snagged two CEOs. And I can guarantee we know that, they was doing the hanky panky. But she gotta have a specialty, child. She gotta have some type of specialty. Now, even if you look at this thumbnail, she's seasoned. Well, she probably not, girl. She probably 30. Uh, looking at this picture, she looks older, but uh, you know, I'm not gonna say that I don't want to be offensive, but she probably about no more than 35. Black just don't crack. Why was he here with his wife? What do you mean, Peggy? You want to say that again? Why was he here with his wife? Or why wasn't he there with his wife? Is that what you mean? If so, he's a cheater. He was cheating, child. Veronica Monroe. Hey, Veronica Monroe. I don't think they knew who they were. No, I don't think so either. Because if they did, I don't know if they would bust them out like that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Um, but he was bogus for being out in public. Like, first of all, he was bogus for cheating, period. But being out in public like that is your wife. And yeah, whatever comes his way, it is what it is. They should have fired him and not gave him the opportunity to resign. Let that termination show on your record. We know if the skin color was different, they wouldn't have been given the opportunity. Excellent point. Excellent point. But they look out for each other, child. And he's going to get a severance pay. He really, really is. You know? All right, couple more. Now, if he booked the tickets, he shouldn't have gotten fired. Okay, Teresa. Hey, pretty eyes. I agree, Chit Chat. They've been together for a minute. Yes, Capricorn. Look, that hug and snuggled up, that's not something that's just new. You get what I'm saying? And what's crazy is, yes, morally it's wrong, but we're not going to act like people don't cheat. They do. And damn, you couldn't wait until you got into a hotel room after the concert and all of that. And oh, shoot, I had sent it to myself, but I don't have time to look for it. But the girl that operates the camera and put that jumbotron camera on them, she released a TikTok basically like, oops, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's a whole mess. Hey, Aunt Debbie, you must have left out and came back in. All right, she wasn't married that long to her second husband before starting this affair. Yeah, but she married. She married. You know, it wasn't me. It is so many jokes going around about this. There was mascots at, I can't forget the game. A mascot dressed up like a male and another one, and they made sure to put the camera on them, and he was snugged up and hugging her just like this guy was. Then they ducked down and she turned around. There are toy figurines made out about this. They went super viral. So it is what it is. You got to pay the consequences to the wife. Now look, I think that again, they stick with each other. And I do think that he will be employed with somebody else. I think right now probably trying to save his marriage is on his mind. And if I were his wife, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it seemed like she's not playing that. So we'll keep our eyes out on it. What happened to her first marriage? And Danya said she probably cheated. Probably cheated, child. But she got some talent somewhere because she's not a looker. Put in the chat before I move on. Just based off of this thumbnail, how old does she look to you? And I'll put mine in here. And it's not for us. We don't crack. So the age that I'm gonna put in here, I'm gonna say a good 70. Really, my degree is real 45. Teresa say 63. Ooh, child, I put 70. Gigi say 48. Really? Really? She looks much older. Gia say 65, Danya 55. She's HR. She should know better. Who can trust her if they go to her with a serious issue at the workplace when it comes to actual harassment? Totally agree. Totally agree. Early 50s. Dolores say 50 plus. Hey, Lisa Love. His non-apology was wild in public, but mad about being publicly exposed. Yeah, they said that the man was going to attempt to sue and all of that. Dude, you were in a public place. You cannot sue. All right, 60, 60, 50. And this is, ooh, I'm trying to keep it, politically correct or whatever. But it's not how we look, child. It's not. Aunt Debbie, how old she look to you on this screen? Let me see. Mary Langley say 67. Gigi say a hard 48. Wait till that Botox wear out. Child, do she even have Botox in? She looks much older to me. I don't know how old she really is, but what I do know is this other picture, they're professional pictures. They don't look like her at all. Yes, J28. She is the one at the bottom. So we're talking about the CEO and the lady that was busted. All right, 72. Not necessarily my degree is real. They just don't age well. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she had a hard knock life. Okay. All of them morally corrupt. Just imagine how they do with hiring people. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So anyway, I think it's a done deal basically when it comes to that whole story, but I will be trying to keep my eye out on the moves of the wife child. Yes, I will. And I love that in her. As soon as they went viral, she dropped that damn last name. You know what I mean? So I just think it's gonna be rough for them. Poor kids. Poor kids. Hey, Aries love, you say a good 57. Oh, she's 52. Okay. 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 All right, we're gonna keep it moving. Since I want to save the last story for this therapist, and we're gonna go over her there was a write up in Psychology Today about her. We'll go over everything, but all I have to say is wow. But we're going to go ahead and jump real quick to, we may as well go ahead and do Shannon Zummy ass Sharpe. Hold on, let me close some of these windows. All right, so I think I pulled this one up for Cece from our conversation earlier, but I do want to first go ahead and play what Shannon Sharpe had to say initially. As I mentioned, any of you want to come up, just let me know, or mods, let me know in the chat, and I'll drop the link. But let's go ahead and take a look at what Shannon had to say. He thought he ate. And yeah, this is so damn embarrassing. And he's still over there on his YouTube channel, but we will not see Shannon Sharpe back on ESPN or any other platform other than something that he starts himself or his YouTube channel. You remember when Gabby said, I don't want to be choked, Shannon, set his dumb ass up. And yeah, he's settled. He's settled. But let's go ahead and take a listen to what Shannon had to say. Then we'll go over what was released in the public as far as this case being dismissed without prejudice. Or was it with prejudice? I'll correct myself in a minute. But let's take a look and a listen.
Speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets Black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so.
Now Black men and their egos. Black men and their egos. On Debbie say 65. He was insulted because Tony Bugsby initially said he had a 30-second tape. Shannon had to let it be known that it really should be 10 minutes. Even facing this, It's crazy. All right, let's continue.
Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I will myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues.
Wait a minute, not family. The daughter that asked you to cover the wedding, and you said that you was only going to give her 30,000, and that little Gabby probably got 30 million, at least 25, at least.
I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all of you guys.
I'm so sick of these. Now, look, I don't even know if I can say Negroes because we just talked about the CEO who also landed himself in hot water. But to risk it all is crazy. And Gabby absolutely got paid. Hold on, let's go here. So, shout out to Black millionaires, but the $50 million actual lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe has been settled and will be dismissed with prejudice. Attorney behind the case acknowledged their long-term consensual relationship. Long-term and consensual don't mean much. His lawyers initially came out and said that they offered her $10 million. And I, under no circumstances, believe that this was settled without some type of payday. So with me living in Las Vegas, I did see it on the news because that's where they had to go to court. And the plaintiffs, Gabby's lawyer, didn't show up at all. And all on the news. And I was thinking to myself, they're working on a settlement. They're working on a settlement. And I know we talked about this before. You guys let me know. Do you feel like he's settled? OJ should have been the example, but they all seem to think it won't happen to me. Sad but true. Sad but true. And look, if I just keep it real, yes, this was before he settled. So that's what I said. I was playing the initial statement that he came out and said. If I'm keeping it real, he was set up. He was. He was a dummy ass, but he was set up. Gabby called a lick. Gabby called a lick. And you're gonna have to, well, he already paid up. So he already lost big time. It just so happened the week that this came out, this came out, I believe, like on a Monday or a Sunday. And that Wednesday, Shannon was supposed to be signing a $100 million podcast deal. They snatched that right on up off the table. Also, when he and Chad Ochocinco, when they go live on YouTube, they used to have sponsors behind them, and lights and all of that. All of that started coming down. So the sponsors dropped them, ESPN dropped them, podcast deal dropped them, and he had to come out of pocket. Shannon could be damn near broke. You know what I mean? He could be damn near broke. I don't know his net worth. Maybe I'll look it up real quick. Depending on what he had to pay Gabby, Shannon is probably on his way to being broke. Let me search real quick. Net worth 2025. Wow. Now, I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is true. But right here, it's saying that Shannon's net worth in 2025 is 14 million. 14 million. Let's see if I have a couple different links say 14 million. Shannon is probably down to about $2 million. I know he's over there working his butt off on his YouTube channel. Here's another one that says 30. Here's another one that said 5.4 million. Oh no, that's definitely wrong. That's a 5.4 billion. That's absolutely wrong. So I see 14, 14, 14 a lot. And I believe that may be everything is alleged. Everything is in my opinion only. But I believe that that may be right around what he, probably is worth. And I think that when he offered her that 10 million to keep things on the down low, that's because he knew he was going to get that 100 million. So it is what it is, child. It is what it is. This was before he settled. Okay. You honestly did it. Sit down somewhere. OJ. Okay. I got that. I think she may have cleared 5 million or less after paying her attorney. Yeah. The attorney going to get they cut and all of that. But I don't think, Philly girl, that same initial offer, if they were going to take the 10 million, they would have took it in the beginning. That's just my opinion. So we won't know naturally that's private, but I just doubt that they settled for 10 million, but they could. He settled like, at the bottom of a barrel. So with prejudice, it's final. She can't come back and refile again. Yes, he probably settled. Right. Yep. I haven't seen one sister sue any of these brothers, and I'm sure they have stories too. But who going to believe? Sick of these rich brothers. Excellent point. Pretty as I mentioned that a couple weeks ago, and I said that if Cassie and Jane Doe look like us, would they have gotten the attention that they got? So you're right about that. Who's going to believe the average beautiful Black sister? Not too many. All right, so it looks like you guys agree. Money was settled. Heck yeah, he settled. He most definitely settled. Didn't he settle yesterday? Yeah, they announced it yesterday. Yep. Hey, Andretta. Thank you. Thank you for stopping through. Didn't he make millions off of that Cat Williams interview alone? He did. I can give you an estimate. I can give you an estimate off of that. Hold on. Let me go to Cat Williams, Shannon Sharpe. So as of today, he's made $900,000. $900,000 around about for that Cat Williams interview based off of the views. Yep. But he'll be okay. He'll be okay. It is what it is, child. We resting in our 92%. Some of the wealthy aging men are just straight up deplorables. You know why? Because they refuse to accept that they are aging. That's why. So a lot of them think that if they date younger, they're younger. No, you're not. No, you're not, and to think he was so stingy about his daughter's wedding, right? And joked about it. She better have a fish fry. She better have a fish fry. I ain't doing all of that. And here your ass talking about I'm gonna be spending time with my family and friends. Man, get out of here. They just continue to let them snow bunnies make a fool out of them, but have the nerve to hate us. That's what he get. Facts. No pity, none, absolutely zip zero from me. And he won't be the last, unfortunately. He won't be the last. All right, we're going to touch on this real quick. And then, like I said, I want to spend some time on the last story because we just heard about the Todd Austin story that happened in Texas. This was in Texas as well. And I just think that it's a conversation that really, really needs to be had with women. Shout out to the men, subscribers and the pushes and all of that. But let's go ahead and get into this. We touched on this the other night, but Jamal White's mama ain't ish. She ain't ish. And we now know that the men that kidnapped Jamal, 7-year-old Jamal White, they went there initially looking for the mama. No, they went to her house first, looking for her, and sat there and sat there. She never showed up. And then they went to his daddy's house. And that's when they snatched him, and abducted him. But the abduction happened early Friday. That was what? Was that last Friday? The 11th or 4th of July? No, I think that was the 11th. Anyway, they abducted him. They took him to that abandoned house and called his mammy. They called his mammy. The poor little baby heard her on speakerphone, and he heard her say, "I'm coming to get him." They demanded $100,000. So when the baby was giving his account to the police detectives, he teared up remembering that his mom never showed up. Now, if that isn't scandalous, I don't know what is, because not only did she not show up, she didn't even call the police and let them know, hey, these guys just called me. They said I could meet them at a park. They got my son and they want $100,000. All of us know that had she done that, the police would have set up a sting, had her to walk on in that park, and then they would have nabbed them then. They didn't catch these guys until the following day. So she's still locked up. I'm not sure if her charges are still pending because I didn't look it up, but it was 25-year-old Corey Williams. And I'll take this off. It was another 14-year-old boy. And then they also ended up arresting another man. I believe he was probably 38. But his mama ain't shit. And the reason why I have this picture on the screen, you guys see all this money? That was her Instagram profile picture. That all of these stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of money, other pictures of her, jewelry everywhere, and all of the above. And I do know that they now have Jamal with family, and hopefully he'll stay with family, because we know the daddy failed him by running in the house and closing the damn door and leaving him out there. And a lot of people saying, well, the daddy was just shocked and all of this. What if they didn't, because they did have pow pows in their hands. What if they didn't decide just to snatch the little boy? What if they decided to, unalive him? There's zero excuse for the daddy running in the house and leaving that little boy outside like that. And then the mama left him with the damn kidnappers. Lock him up, throw away the key. Go get the daddy too, if you ask me. So, yeah. $100,000. They didn't get that. They got arrested anyway. Let's see. They said that they did consider hurting Jamal for money. Jamal also had a methamphetamine pill in his pocket when the police picked him up. And I just hope that that baby does not have anything in his system. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. But I think that's it on that. Let me see what you guys have to say about that. Do you guys think that the daddy should be locked up as well? Because I do. I do. Lock them all up. Didn't both parents get locked up? I thought they planned it so they could get a GoFundMe. But that was rumors that was going around, sis. So according to the police, that wasn't true. They didn't say anything about the GoFundMe, but they laid out what the plan was. And they stated that they kidnapped that little boy based off of, they say one of them knew the mom, but based off of her flaunting and flashing her money and jewelry and all of that. You know, actually, Corey Williams said during his arrest, he confessed that Jamal's mom was a known drug dealer in the community and that she would always flash her money. So Corey and two other men, which included a 14-year-old boy, came up with a plan to rob the woman. When they couldn't find her at her house, that's when they decided to go and rob his daddy. you know? So yeah, I did hear about that GoFundMe, but no, I think they only questioned the daddy. They did arrest the daddy's, I believe it was a twin brother, and he the only one that stood on business. It was cars driving around real slow, and his brother, the daddy's brother, pulled out a pow pow and shot in their direction. You know, but lock them all up. Lock them all up. I did not, Teresa. You know, I saw a tad bit, but I didn't even. I'm so disgusted with her. I didn't even go down and read more. Yeah, yeah. All of this, child. You think people not gonna come at and try to get you? Living in the hood, from is my understanding. And yeah, look, a lot of people know what's up. I know what's up just from looking at this picture. That's not no regular 9 to 5. Okay. So yeah, one would think that she was what they're saying that she is, which is a drug dealer, you know? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, let's see. Couple more. Lock his arse up. Gigi, that's what I'm getting ready to do. Scroll up. He's up. Yes, he is. Lock up dad for child endangerment for running away and not protecting. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. My degree is real. You know, the feds need to tap in on her earth. Look, I can guarantee you, I'll do a search real quick and see. Well, I'm not gonna have, I don't even know what that will come up with. I'm not gonna go to like the Milwaukee County jail page. But as of Thursday, she is still in custody and her charges are pending. And Shasha, it is you can best believe that the feds is really, really looking into her. You know? So yeah, disgusting. It's so many hot topics, but it's like, damn, can we get some positive ones? Can we get some positive ones? Okay, hold on. Let's go ahead and get into this. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. I don't mean to say go ahead. Let's go ahead and get into this last story. And I do think, let me pause this. We'll look at the news clip first, but Rashonda Lowe, a clinical social worker slash therapist, unalived her ex-boyfriend. And before I even get into the news clip, I want to show you guys her decorated background. Um, and it's shocking, it's sad, but unfortunately, it happened. No, my degree is real. I haven't even heard of that. The black woman jumped in. Oh, I have not. I have heard of it, and I love the way the brother showed up and was out there on that block. I know exactly what you're talking about. Did I talk about that in a live already? I'm not sure, but I know exactly what you're talking about. But let's go ahead and take a look real quickly at Rashonda Lowe. Um, She said, "Hello, my name is Shonda Lowe, and I'm a licensed therapist who has served hundreds of clients over the years." And I'm not going to read it all, but it's just parts that I wanted to read. I provide relatable and relational counseling, understanding the importance of relationship with the client. I focus on clients dealing with depression, self esteem, interpersonal challenges, and codependency. I create a safe space that is comfortable and culturally sound. I am down to earth and very relatable, as rapport is very important in therapy spaces. So I just wanted to touch on that because for her to do what she did, she had to have been suffering the same thing that she was treating her clients for: depression, self esteem issues, interpersonal challenges, and codependency. Okay. And let's go ahead and take a look at the news article. Let me stop this one. Did you guys hear about this? Let me know. It just happened. Um, the guy that she unalived was her ex-boyfriend. A little history. They had been together for, couple years or so. And he took on her kids as his own. And they said that when they broke up, that really angered her. And then he also got married. So he was a business owner. He owned a pastry. Well, he had a little spot in a mall, and that's where this happened. So let's go ahead and take a quick look and a listen. And this is sad. It really is. You didn't hear about this, J28? Yeah, I heard about it yesterday. This is sad. All right, let's take a look.
They say that for years he had a restraining order against the specific female suspect in the story. Amelia Magabro tonight's taken a deep.
Okay, I'm going to take it back to the top, but his wife is the one that said that he had a restraining order against her.
Killed inside a cookie store at the Shops at Redbird in Dallas.
Police say that for years he had a restraining order against the specific female suspect in the story. Amelia Magabro tonight's taken a deeper look into the effectiveness of restraining orders.
The Shops at Redbird reopened for business Wednesday, but the cookies and cream smoothie business still closed. A solemn reminder of the shop owner shot to death Tuesday afternoon.
All right, so I don't know if they'll say it, but I'll go ahead and say it. She showed up in that mall to his place of business, and they said that he and she were arguing for about an hour, and then she pulled out her pow and, shot him. Then she jumped over the counter and let off a couple more. Crazy.
According to police, 44-year-old Rashonda Lowe is accused of shooting and killing 53-year-old Jaime Rocket at a shop inside the mall. According to arrest records, Lowe and Rocket knew each other and spoke at a shop for about an hour before Lowe pulled out a handgun and shot Rocket. Rocket's wife sharing this photo with us. Social media posts painting him as a man beloved in his community who once owned a music shop. Now, I did speak to Rocket's wife briefly over the phone, and she was really still too emotional to talk to us on camera. But what she did say was that her husband actually had a restraining order against Lowe, and that she even told police that for years, Lowe had been harassing and stalking their family.
It was a clear failure of the system, a clear failure of what the system did with this particular information.
Criminologist Alex Del Carmen says restraining orders are useful, but cannot prevent crimes.
They are very useful in the sense that what they do is they set forth a warning to the suspect that if they in fact violate the restraining order, then there's going to be a criminal penalty.
According to the National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1 in 6 women are victims of stalking, compared to 1 in 19 men.
And I think in this particular case, that's why some people were very surprised that a woman would actually engage in this degree of violence against a male victim in this case, and that sadly his life was lost as a result of that.
In a statement, the shop's general manager wrote in part, the Shops at Redbird has a comprehensive security program in place and a strong partnership with local police. We will be reviewing all aspects of this incident closely and taking any additional steps necessary to maintain a safe and welcoming environment. Police say Lowe turned herself into Arlington police on Tuesday and now faces a murder charge. In Dallas, Amelia McGavro, CBS News, Texas.
Isn't that crazy, guys? Isn't that crazy? 40. Uh-oh. I'm going to close this out.
Keep you on track. When you're
43 years old. Now her kids are motherless. And it's just back to back. You know what I mean? Like I said, we just went over last week regarding Michelle, the lady that was ex to Todd Austin, and she unalived him at that barbershop. Although there was a lot that came out about Todd, there are text messages from Michelle talking to her girlfriend. And in one of those text messages, she said, I should unalive him. Let me go ahead and send myself these text messages real quick. We'll go through that and then we will let me email these. Hold on. I got them right here and ready. But what are you all's thoughts about that? We get that people most times that's hired, it's their profession to do a certain job. They could absolutely be experiencing some of the same things. But wow, man. Wow. And in this case, just my opinion only, Um, I believe that she was highly upset that they broke up and that he ended up getting married. You know what I mean? And that's why it is best if you just go ahead and sever all ties, all communication. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you may end up trying to just be cordial and be friends. You know what I mean? But if there's any feelings there, yeah, no, don't do it. So I don't have any pity for her. I was feeling for Michelle with the Todd Austin case, but when I started reading some of these text messages, I was like, ugh, because she said he know I will unalive him for real. And that's crazy. So let's see. Do I have those up? Okay, I'll bring those up in a minute. I have them. You have to send me the one in Maryland who was unalive. They let this fool out on Wednesday and Friday. He unalived her. Yeah, it's crazy. Um, sh- should have locked her up. What are you all's thoughts about restraining orders? I believe it was J28 that said that restraining orders ain't worth ish. Yes. And what can they do though? You know what I mean? You can be granted a restraining order, but do we expect the police to sit on guard and all of that? I do think that something, forget a restraining order. I feel like if you have grounds to issue a restraining order, then go ahead and find some charges or do something and lock them up. Lock them up because restraining orders, they definitely aren't worth, like J28 said, the paper that they're written on. Do you know how long they have been broken up? I do not, Danya. I do not. Let's go ahead and bring this back up real quick. And I'll scroll through and see if it's any more information. But I believe they have been broken up for a couple years at least. But obviously, this lady Rashonda was still reaching out for him to have to get a restraining order. But they said that after she hit him in the head, chest, and legs. Then she jumped back over the counter and left. And they said that when she left, she was running and crying. No, a witness told officers that they saw Lowe running and crying and asked her if she was okay. No, she wasn't, child. She had just unalived her ex. But about this guy, they said that he was very big on community. He would hire people, giving them a second chance. He was very involved with the youth and all of that. And this is sad. But according to his wife, he had been harassing them for a while. The wife told the detectives about that restraining order. Let's see. His family told CBS News that Lowe was not Rocket's ex-girlfriend or partner. This was a case of a man tragically unalived by a stalker. I don't believe that. Nah, I don't believe that. I don't. And there are too many other accounts that said that that was an ex of his. And look, I'm not blaming him. May he rest in peace, and prayers, and condolences go up to his family. But that's why a lot of these men, again, not blaming him, because the family will never know. The family will never know the relations that he had with this lady. And like I mentioned, they said that he had claimed basically her kids as his own, treated them very well and all of that. So I don't believe that part of them coming out and saying that no, she was just this crazed stalker. She wasn't an ex-girlfriend or partner. Don't believe that. Let's see. I was trying to see. Well, Danya, I won't get the answers in this article because as I just read, they're trying to say that they wasn't even together. And that's straight BS to me. I don't believe it. But may he rest in peace. I just think that, and he really didn't have to share all of the details with his family or his well, she's a widow now, his wife. You know what I'm saying? But if he had to file a restraining order, then yes, I'm sure that he told the wife a tad bit more. You guys believe that? Do you guys believe that he wasn't dating her or had any relations with her? Because I don't. Yes, Bella, cut all ties. Cut all ties. And that, look, I had to take my own advice when it comes to that. Although, it was just a cordial, the conversations was leading into wanting me back, want me back, want me back. And yeah, I just said nah, and I just ended up blocking and cutting zero. There will be zero contact. And that's what you have to do. You got to cut all ties completely. Therapists are human too, so they definitely need therapy for themselves. I agree. I agree. But being a therapist, sis, I would think, and shit happens and people snap. I just hope or wished that she would have reached out to her own therapist as far as what she was feeling and all of that. Maybe she did. We don't know. But obviously whatever went on and what she specializes in didn't matter in that moment. Restraining orders are only good in court to try and keep a person, but folks that wild that say what they are going to do not care. That's true. They don't give a damn about no damn restraining order. We've seen so many cases of people being unalived, and most times it comes out that there was a restraining order there, and they try to blame the police. But for me, maybe, God forbid, knock on wood, I would probably feel the same way. But I just don't think that they can monitor a person 24/7 where they can protect them. You get what I'm saying? So the goal of restraining orders should be a deterrent for the party that it's against, but most times it's not. They will hold you longer for stealing. So true. When they give them a restraining order, they need to put an ankle monitor on them. Something, and I agree, Teresa, something else besides just that piece of paper. And for me, if a judge sit down and say, yes, the evidence that you presented to me proves that you deserve a restraining order, look deeply into that evidence. And like I said, start locking these folks up. Hey, Retired Radio. Thank you for being here. Restraining orders only serve as filed documentation that a person is bothering you. It does not protect you from the individual. Sadly, it angers them more. So true. So true. So true. Hey, Vibrant. You said, Pink Diva, they tell us to get therapy. Providing therapy gets overwhelming at times. Yeah. And I would think, Vibrant Thing, that being a therapist, that will weigh heavy on you. Each person's situation as far as what they're going through and all of that. But it's sad. But I just feel like in this case, she's exactly where she should be. But it just seems like a lot of people are snapping. And I am guilty of saying, look, in the past, I'm a whole, that's why I don't want no relationship. I'm guilty of saying that. Play with me, I'm a snap on your ass, and to even say that, that should be enough for you to say, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and exit the building. And you know what I mean? But it seems like a lot of people are not only saying it, but doing it. This is 2 Black women in the past week that have unalived these men. And then with Michelle, I can't think of her last name, in the Todd Austin case, she unalived herself as well. He definitely had some dealings with her. He probably was cheating on his wife with her. That's been going around as well. That's been going around as well. And look, sis, that would, I'm not trying to give Rashonda any excuse, but that would play a part in, you know what I'm saying? People reacting in situations. I'm gonna say that what she did is wrong, period. But I believe that there was still some type of communication that his wife didn't even know about, happenings and meetups and everything else. For her to be there at that mall for an hour, and they were talking for an hour, even that, again, I'm not trying to blame him, but if you had a restraining order, I would have thought that I'm gonna press 911 or something. Just looking back on the situation, he did not deserve what happened to him. Hey, Roy, y'all. How are you? Why did the wife get the restraining order instead of him? No. The wife said that he's the one that had that restraining order. So she didn't have one. Okay, Mixie say the that woman was a stalker. So Mixie, you don't think that they were in any type of relationship before this? You think that she was just a stalker, she was cray, and she decided to had it, unless she was following him and all of that. But how would she know where he works and all of that? Plus, I'm only going on what else was released online. And again, they said that they definitely were dating and he had a relationship with her kids. So maybe she was angry and hurt and upset that they broke up. Getting married probably set her off as well. And then maybe the kids was asking about him. So she was wrong, and like I say, lock her ass up and throw away the key. But I just know a lot of these men and how they move and how they talk and walk and all of that. And this should be, these two cases that we've talked about this week and last should be a wake-up call for a lot of these men. You know what I mean? And the lesson is stop playing with folks. If you're involved, you got a wife and all of that, go on about your business and leave these people alone. You got to wait, Clo. You got to wait. He probably had relations with her. He got married and she snapped. But clearly he didn't stop talking to her, in my opinion. Good point, Gigi. Good point. Guys, give me 30 seconds. Let me open the door for my dog. It looks like she got to use the bathroom. Give me 30 seconds. All right, that was 31 seconds. But Gigi, I totally agree with you, sis. I really, really do. And again, I'm not trying to blame him. He did not deserve that. But we're women and we know how situations go down. And I don't think that she just sat and festered in this all that time and then decided to do this. Don't know. Rain Bass said, I believe she was a side chick and he broke it off, got married, and she was pissed and wouldn't let go. Okay, that could be. I should have looked this story up on TikTok or something. Let's see if I can find something. Hold on, I'm gonna read you all's comments, but give me 1 second, and I know TikTok gonna start playing. Oh, it didn't. Good. All right, let me search for Rashonda Lowe. Okay, we're going to look at a couple videos. Over here on TikTok. But I'm a star Reem Bass's comment, and then I'll read what's under that. Let's take a look, guys. Let's be nosy. Let's see, child. All right. So this person said LCSW Rashonda Lowe crashed out over a married man. All right, let's take a look.
Was gunned down Monday at his shops at Redbird Business Center inside the mall. The accused leader is, get this, a licensed social worker named Rashonda Lowe. Apparently, from the news stories, she was his ex. Jamie Rocket, the store owner, had a restraining order against her. What was crazy was I thought initially that Lowe might have been a fired co-worker or something. Surveillance video showed Lowe talking with Rocket for about an hour in cookies and smoothies when she pulled out a handgun and shot at him. Lowe then jumped over the counter and fired several more times at close range. She then jumped back over the counter, leaving the handgun there, and ran out the north exit of the mall. So I have a couple of comments I want to read before I give my thoughts on this tragic story. One commenter said, "This is the perfect example of how men can be victims of domestic violence. The concern is that men aren't allowed to openly express their problems due to being perceived as weak or not being taken seriously."
All right, now look, that is true. And everybody should know that men can absolutely be victims of DV, you know? Let's see if we can find. Okay, we looked at that. Let's see, what's this? All right, I'm being nosy, child. Hold on. Where's your volume? Okay, what's going on? It's on.
Recently in Texas, a business owner named Jaime Rocket was shot and killed right at his business in the mall. Now, who was he shot and killed by? An angry, jealous ex-girlfriend who he had avoided for years, and he even had a restraining order against her. This man had moved on with his life, created a great business, had married, had a beautiful wife, and was just living his life. And he was thinking that everything was good. Well, Rashana Lowe, his ex, showed up at his business, and from what the security camera showed, they were talking for about an hour.
Okay, let's go
First,
to the
I
next.
pay my house rent on the 15th plus late fees. First,
Hold on.
The man who was shot.
All right. Is there any more? Let's see. And then I'm gonna get back to some comments. Let's see what this person is saying. All right. They just have pictures. And yes, again, may he rest in peace. Let's see.
Hour, then she murders him. He had a restraining order against her. Why did he talk to her? Whoa, I still know. Video shows that they talk for about an hour, then she murders him. He had a restraining order against her. Why did he talk to her? Whoa, I still know.
All right. Now, I think that should answer our question. I'll see if there's anything else, but that contradicts what the family said, that she was this stalker. They never dated and all of that. I don't think that he would have stood there and had a conversation with her for an hour if that was the case. You know what I mean? Let's see. It's not many on them. There's not many TikTok videos on them, so I believe that that's it. But I wanted to show you guys. Let me go back up. Because we're gonna get into this next, but let me make sure I can just. Okay, I'll bring that up in a minute, and we'll go over that. I have the text messages of Michelle. Doggett, I wish I could remember her last name, but we'll go over that before we go. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. Let me go back up to Reem Bass's comment. J28 said that's what it sounds like. Pink Diva said, I know that's right. Dealing with people and their issues on a daily basis can definitely be overwhelming. There are some heavy topics being discussed in those sessions, for sure. He had to know her. Why? Okay, so Pretty Eyes, I just saw your comments, and yeah, that's just based off of what the family said. He wasn't in a relationship or didn't have anything to do with her. There was some history there. Let's just put it that way. And although we know that she did snap, and again, I'm not victim blaming. I do think that, again, there was some shit going on that the wife probably didn't know. I really do. LaShawn said, my son therapist quit because she was having postpartum. He said she used to vent to him about her stuff. Wow. So he was going to talk to her and she was venting to him. And like Pink Diva said, look, people are human. People are human. So naturally, we can look back on situations. I can and say, man, I wish she would have talked to somebody. And that's just saying, I wish you didn't go down this road. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. Peace, Love, and Light said, my ex clearly showed me he didn't care about a restraining order. You had to get a pow pow. Yeah. 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 I've never had to get one. And maybe it's my mouth and my family, child. Thank God. When you're obsessed with your ex like that, it's dangerous. You have to leave town because you won't be able to see them with other women or men. Good point. Good point, Teresa. Yep. And you know what? You also have to realize that God got you. Although it's tough now, you will get through that. And that's just my message to anybody that could be going through something. Um, don't take this. Don't take this route. Don't do this. We have two cases of two Black women. And now we have the kids that are without their moms. You know what I mean? J28 said I had the same issue. I later thought that was her way of annoying me, so I stopped coming. Yes, isn't it sad, Retire Radio? It is. Folks need to be careful playing with people's feelings. We're hearing more and more stories like this. So true, sis. So true. Um, and I agree. It's easy to not run game. You know what I mean? It's easy for you to not be selfish and want your cake and eat it too. It's real easy, even though at the time you may feel like you're getting away with it and all of that. You got to think about folks and their minds and how that could affect them. And we don't know how much she probably um paid into that relationship. You know what I'm saying? How much she gave him, how much support. We know in Michelle's case, she is the one that had the business mind when it comes to the credit repair business and all of that. And you guys will see her words soon. And yeah, um, no one deserves the outcome, but there is some blame. You get what I'm saying? That could be pointed again, not victim shaming. I'm talking about to the ones that are still living and still doing some of these same things to these women. And look, some women do it to men as well. Just stop. If you know you don't really care for them like that, you know what I'm saying? Don't lead them on and all of that. They broke up at least a year ago based on the internet. Right. And look, I do believe, and I heard maybe two, but I agree with whoever put in the comment section that him getting married probably made her snap. And that's still not a reason for her to snap. But I do think that played a part. She was a therapist and had it going on from what I understand. And again, a lot of times as women, you support or you try to build up these build a bear ass Negroes. And then when you see them move on and they with somebody else, yeah, sometimes people lose it. And you shouldn't, but we understand. Cheated with her, married someone else, just knocked her off the ledge. Yeah. Yep, she couldn't let go. She became obsessive. I agree, Mixie. I agree. Um, you know, but I do think that I don't know, typically, because I'm not going to blame this guy because I don't know anything about them, but typically a lot of them want to have their cake and eat it too. Typically they'll call you on bullshit and I don't even love her. It's just that I had to settle down. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So yeah, it's crazy. The fact that he treated her kids as his own probably had her thinking he was committed to her. Agreed. Agreed. Hey, LaShawn. Hey, LaShawn, you're not being rude. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There's no valid reason to unalive anybody. You don't get to take another person's life no matter what they done. Yep, I agree. Totally, totally. Hey, Brittany Janae. How are you, sis? Dang, she was jumping over the counter. Yeah, she jumped over the counter and pumped out a couple more. All right, J28 said I had two ROs. The first one was only covered for a few phone sessions. Then she referred me to the second one. I like the first one better. I hope your son, oh, you're talking about therapist, child. I hope your son didn't take it personally. Child, I'm talking about ROs. So you had two therapists. All right, men need to start reporting it. Yes, I am in no way in support of what Michelle did, even though we know how bogus that ex was. And also Rashonda, this lady. You just don't get to do that. But look, jails and cemeteries are full of people, child, that have chosen their route, and it's crazy. Was he playing both sides and didn't tell her he was married? Don't know. Don't know. That's absolutely a possibility. You know what I'm saying? But if, I don't know if they lived in the same city or what. They haven't released. They haven't released much more information. So, if she was in the state of mind that she was in once she went up there, I don't know, sis. I'm trying to reason with it. Maybe she had just learned of that then and went up there and did that. But I was saying that if she was in a state of mind of how they're trying to paint her as a stalker and all of that, I would think that she probably had gained access to, let's say, social media pages and all of that, and maybe knew. The wife knew about her, but that's what they do, child. She crazy. She crazy. And it's a sad, unfortunate situation. It really, really is. True. He took the time to get a RO and he knows her temperament. I wish he had not had that conversation. Right, Gigi? But what more could he have done? You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to use reverse psychology on people. You know what I'm saying? And I would have told her, stay right here. I'll be right back. I'm going to come out and talk to you, and took my ass in the back and called the damn police. That's what I would have done. So, still, he didn't deserve that. And in the heat of the moment, I guess you don't know. That's a long time to be talking, though, having a heated discussion. And that's what witnesses on the scene and employees said, that they sat there and talked for an hour. You wonder if he was trying to diffuse her getting angry as to why he sat talking to her for an hour. He knew he had a restraining order on her. Right. But even with the restraining order, he should know that you can't do that. So, that could be the case. But like I said, if with her showing up, you already know this chick still wants you or whatever. And I do think she was obsessed. Like Mixie said, run game on her one last time. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, child would have been like, oh, hey, hold on one second. I'm gonna come right on out. I would have played it totally different. But it's not his fault. What happened is not his fault. Surprised she didn't show up at the wedding. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. They stay trying to put me in the corner in one of those wooden chairs. Oh, that's why you said you needed a cushion. Well, look, at least we talked about that the other night. I must say, members only was excellent. Excellent. But we talked about therapy and a whole lot of stuff the other night. It was amazing. Perhaps he was cheating. Wife found out, made him get an RO, and he still didn't cut her all the way loose. We can look at all angles of this, and most times, I don't know. I can't say that because there's a lot of women out here that's just cray cray. A lot of men that's cray cray. And I was gonna say most times if they put their foot down, either party, male or female, some people will get the hint, but there are some that just will not. They just don't take no for an answer. All right. Yeah, these Build-A-Bear ass Negroes. Hold on, guys. I started to make him get out and go out when I put her out. Go. Go, go, go. Go you. All right. Okay, I'm gonna read a couple more. Then we're gonna go through these text messages that Michelle and her friend had talking about the guy Todd Austin. That's the graveyard's love and obsession with the person. And women see these getting unalive behind this and they still keep doing it. And women see these men getting unalive behind all this, and they still keep doing it. Keep doing what, Gigi? Are you talking about like the wives? Hey, Neva P. Keep doing what? Keep doing what? Men and women see people getting unalived over. Okay, got you. Men and women see people getting unalived over playing with people's emotions, and yet they keep doing it. Yep. And like I said at the start of this live, women in particular, you got to stop looking at these red flags like they decorations. You know what I'm saying? And go on about your business. That ain't the last Negro you gonna encounter in your life. You know, but easier said than done for a lot of folks. You know. I'm thinking he was already married because she sounded like the type to show up at the wedding. Nope, he wasn't already married. Based off of a lot of and it's a lot of stories on Facebook. He got married after they broke up. You know. And look, you guys saw the black guy that and look, people should be angry. So I'm not gonna even bring up the manosphere or the high value man. They should be angry. But like I said, it should also be a lesson to men, because that's who we're talking about. Women as well, but men, stop. You know what I'm saying? Just stop. Quit being greedy, because other people just not gonna be nice and say it's over or divorce you, or you know what I'm saying, or just gone on about their business. There's some people out here that has done before what these women have done, but I totally agree. Hold on, I totally agree with you, sis, that it seems like it's just happening, child, a lot, a lot. Hold on, let's go down. Okay. I'm going to play a little bit of this. I'll read a couple comments and then we're going to be out of here. But I'm going to play a little bit of this TikTok about Todd Austin. And I wish anybody in the comments know Michelle's last name. Shoot. I can't think of it. But God, this is why I hate TikTok. If you scroll, you off the damn page. All right. And again, the wife may not have known he was cheating on her. It's so much missing from the story. It's a lot missing, Lady Vi. And just based off of a lot of us sharing our stories and situations, or just in the know when it comes to things that's happened, and we look at the news and all of that, we 9 times out of 10 we know how this situation goes. We know what possibly led up to this. Everything is saying is my opinion. I don't know nothing. I don't know them. But you know, that story unfortunately is not rare. It's not. He probably was gaslighting that lady the entire hour and caused her to snap. Well, Bella, I think she showed up, you know, with her showing up with that pow pow. um I don't know. I think that was her end goal. You know, I think that was her end goal. But do I think that he probably gaslit her? Possibly. Do I think that encounter, her coming up there, was the first in years? I don't think so. Do I think that he most likely got that RO to appease the wife? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's no telling what this chick was doing. Probably sending messages, or you know what I'm saying, or showing up at the house, or whatever. But I do. I hate to say it. I think that he probably was still dibbling and dabbling in some way. All right, let's go ahead. A lot of scenarios can't bring them back. I truly wish people would stop. Yeah, it's so unfortunate. It is so unfortunate. Michelle Williams. Thank you, Teresa. He got married after the fact. Wonder if he promised her marriage. You know, I thought about that, Gigi. And the only reason why I thought about that is because, again, of how several different people said as far as the relationship that he had with her kids. Her kids really looked up to him like dad. And yeah. I don't know if he promised her marriage, or, you know, just went on to marry somebody else. But, you know, It's unfortunate. Veronica Monroe. Veronica said, I had a cousin who stalked the man and he never knew it. They would speak in passing, but nothing else. We are glad she stopped her obsession. Wow. Was he an ex or was he just a random man? That's crazy. It really, really is. Okay. Yeah, I hope her son can get another therapist as well. It's hard to turn away after betrayal, but I love my kids too much. Yep. And look, that betrayal is a mother. And I am woman enough to admit that I have said, and I don't think, I know, because I ain't even never loaded my pal. You know what I mean? When I moved, my brother loaded it because he's like, you single now, and child is tucked away. But I did make threats. You want to play with me? You playing? You playing? And yeah, even that was crazy when I look back on it. So it is hard to turn away. It's hard to not react. It's hard to not say some things. And speaking of saying things, we're going to get into what Michelle Williams had to say with her friend. And I don't blame her friend. I do think that they were just having a conversation. But on the outside looking in now, I wonder how her friend feels. So let's see what this young lady is saying real quick, and then I'll show you guys the text messages.
Child, what is really going on around here? I've been scrolling on the internet and I've been seeing a lot of disturbing and crazy shit. So, one of the first bizarre things that I saw happened just yesterday, June 11th. 37-year-old Timon Michelle Williams walked into a salon and shot up her baby daddy, 37-year-old William Todd Austin, while he was getting a haircut. Austin died from his injuries. And while she was attempting to run outside to get away, she saw the cops arriving, so she ran back into the salon and then shot herself. She was rushed to the hospital but died from her injury. Now, a motive to why she did what she did is still pending, but the streets are talking and they're saying that Austin had broke up with her and then began posting how he was living his best life. And people are saying that is what set her off. And as of right now, this investigation is still ongoing. And just about a week or so prior to this shooting, a 43-year-old woman named Rashonda Lowe went to the Dallas Mall and walked into a business called Smoothies and Cookies, owned by 53-year-old Jamie Rocket. Surveillance video shows the two talking for about an hour. Suddenly, Rashonda pulls out a weapon.
I'm going to play this because I want to hear her commentary at the end.
And begins firing multiple shots at Rocket. She then jumps over a counter and begins firing more shots at him. Rocket was hit in the head, chest, and legs, and he dies from his injuries. Witnesses saw Rashonda crying and running from the scene before fleeing in an SUV. The police spoke to Rocket's wife, who stated that Rashonda had been harassing her husband for a while and that he had a restraining order against her. Rocket's family state that Rashonda is not his ex or his partner and that she's a stalker. Rashonda turned herself in to the Arlington Police Department and she told them that she had a domestic dispute with her ex. This investigation is still ongoing.
And okay, no, I don't even want to see her crazy. Let me get her off my screen, child. Heebie-jeebies. Let me bring up Michelle's text messages to you guys. And oh, child, hold on. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Okay. All right. Let me get this crazy McDonald chick off my screen. She's scary as hell. Okay. I am going to enlarge this. Okay, guys, I'm going to read these messages to you because in these messages, Michelle mentioned unaliving this guy. So that, it's premeditated. But she said she said, I'm not mentally stable. That's Michelle at the top. She said, I'm not mentally stable. Her friend said, I guess her friend had let this guy work on her credit and all of that as well. But she said, I never did, but it's already in your head. So whatever, I'm not about to continue going back and forth. with a person that's mentally stable. So no, I'm sorry. I apologize about that. This is a screenshot of the message that Michelle sent him. And she tells her friend, he told my dumb ass I was big and pregnant, shaking my head. Her friend said, wow, I really hate that you are going through this because having a child in the picture is extremely too much. She said, man, OMG, I seriously cannot believe how. Let's go to the next one. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, that must have been cut off somehow. So I'm just going to go back and read this next one. All right. So she sent another screenshot and he said something. I wasn't going to use your name. Basically, I would put mentee. So she said something to him, as far as him using her name. She built this guy up, taught him the ropes and everything. She goes on to tell her friend he been lying and scamming. I turned him all the way up. He was living downtown on a CPN when I met him. I didn't even know until I found the lease, girl, and seen he ain't even paid the last 2 months nor his cable bill. Nika was broke when I met him. I got him making more money he's ever made in his life, and he took everything. What a scumbag. Her friend said, shaking my effing head, this man is insane. He told me he was going to change my life. LOL. I told him, Negro, I can change my own life. Michelle said, it's so much. I can do a Tubi movie on this man. Her friend said something like, but the man don't got no damn Lamborghini. He literally rented this ish. No, that's Michelle saying he ain't got no Lamborghini. No, that's her. That's the friend. Why the friend renting a Lamborghini? But the man don't got no damn Lamborghini. He literally rented this ish with my card and is being sued for the money. Michelle said, it's all good. I'm his only baby mama from Texas. He done effed around and is about to find out. The F we get dying, whatever that means. He knows it's coming too. Trust me. He kept saying, I'm so glad my apartment got security. She then says, he know I will actually ill him in real life. Her friends said, okay, so I may not have mentioned that part, but yes, he is lucky his apartment's got security because I went over there with my pal last year, but I couldn't get in the gate. And Michelle Williams said, biatch. They go on. Maybe she's talking to his ex. They say, baby, I know, but I'm here for you. Love you. So whatever you need, if you need to talk, drink, whatever, let me know. And then Michelle said, it's you sending me additional evidence of him reversing my mortgage payments. Like, wow. The person she talking to said, and I need to look for more because I'm sure it's some more in those messages. But we text so much. It's so many messages I will have to look. Michelle said, thank you, girl. No one understands. Everyone thinking he was amazing to me and an active dad. They can't even begin to comprehend this ish because it's so rare, this level of switching up and fraudulent activity. So do you guys think that that was premeditation with Michelle, the one that unalived Todd Austin and herself? Hey, A-Day, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, okay. So she knew the man Veronica Monroe and became infatuated with him. Wow, that's crazy. Let me know. Let me know. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and that's going to be it for us tonight. Let me know if you feel like it doesn't matter because they can't charge her because she unalived herself. But reading that, sometimes you can speak things into existence, and with her saying that I will unalive him, and then she ultimately did, it's crazy. Let me know. I'm letting the dogs back in. Come on. Let's go. All that damn bark. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. It's unfortunate as a woman. The actions that these ladies took absolutely were not the correct steps. But I do feel for them. Is that wrong? I do feel for them. But if both were still for Rashonda, yeah, serve every day that she's sentenced to. And if Michelle were here, I would say the same thing. But again, I do feel for them because I think some of us may be able to relate to situations that weren't good, but just didn't go as far off the deep end as they did, All right. Valeria said women need to stop building a man because these men will leave you and get with another woman. Totally agree. Totally agree with you. Look, let them show up ready made. Let them show up ready made. And if they aren't, send them on about their business. It's a lot of build-a-ass Negroes out here that need your help and assistance and this and that. Training is like you, they damn mama. And yeah, it's not worth it. If you can do all that, that means you can do what needs to be done for yourself. Seems that way, like she had been thinking about it for a long time. Yep. And Teresa said, yes, it was premeditated. She said she had tried but couldn't get it. It's definitely premeditated. Yep. Couldn't get in. Right. He lucky his apartment had security. You feel for Michelle than Rashonda. I do too. I feel for both. I feel for both. But I also we'll talk about this cutie crew. Oh, I got an excellent topic for our members only this week. I'm not even gonna say what that's about. But Teresa, I do feel for Michelle more only because we know more of Michelle's story. Plus, we know that there's countless of women that's come out and talked about how Todd Austin played them. He was a scammer. May he rest in peace. He was a scammer. And he did do it wrong. We did see video of him going to her house and banging on the door and all of that. So I do think that she went through more as far as what we know. We don't know what's happened thus far with Rashonda, but do I think that she went through some ish? I do. I think she needs to serve her time. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that she went through some ish. Most times women do, you know? So anyway, happy Saturday again to you guys. It's still Saturday, Eastern Standard Time and Central. It's only 8:46 here, but your girl is tired. I've been up. I slept a little late today. I got up at 7. Normally I'm up at 5, but I'm a busy bee, so I've been busy all day. But for those of you that will be joining me tomorrow, we will be watching Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16, part 2 of the reunion. And Shamia is catching ya big time. My girl Angela, oh Lord, Angela is not looking good. It's not looking good, my Chi-Town sister. But just based off of the clips that I've seen, yeah, Phaedra called her brother, and they just made my girl look bad, Angela. I don't know. I know Aunt Debbie say Angela is a liar, but I think that Angela, that's where she showed that she was a newbie, and she went with what was said first. And I still think that the guy said initially Phaedra. I think they just flipped the script on her, and now it looks like she concocted all of that. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Thank you guys again for joining me for this Saturday Night Live. I'll see you guys next Saturday, most likely. But make sure to put your notification bells on. We'll be talking about hot topics, current events. I got another story that we'll go over. It's a lot. It's a lot. I wanted to discuss tonight. Shout out to Danya and TNTG Mom. I think I'm going to talk about that Monday morning, though. We'll talk about Simon and his interview with Michelle A.T. Elian. We'll talk about Simon suing Portia for $500,000. We'll talk about Jackie from Basketball Wives. I'm ready to debate Danya and TNT G-Mom about that. I got so many doggone hot topics, child. And we'll talk about them. We will. But thank you, Mixie. Mixie say lock her crazy ass up and throw away the key. She's a stalker and she was obsessed. And I agree with you, Mixie. I agree with you. I just know how a lot of these Negroes operate. And I'm not calling Jamie, the guy that she unalived, a Negro. But I do think that more will come out. More will come out. So have a good night. Good night to Mixie. Good night, Gigi. Good night to my sis Pink Ziva. Good night to the legend of the Mars, Linda Gamble. Good night, Gia. Good night, peace, love, and light. Good night to Teresa, Debbie, J28. My degree is real. Did I read this? William, I believe, was doing her dirty and she had enough and snapped. Some people aren't built for heartbreak. So true. My degree is real. So true. And look, we know we got evidence of him. We got evidence. We synced it, child. We synced it. And stop playing with folks. You know what I'm saying? Don't be selfish. Don't be greedy. Don't try to get whatever it is that you're trying to get. And, because look, a lot of times it's much deeper than just you running game on somebody. A lot of times these men are sleeping with several women with no protection. And yeah, that'll take people way off the edge because you out here fooling around and they could die from some shit. So that's the lesson. That's the lesson. All right, guys, I am out of here. Good night, Valeria. Good night, J28. Good night, Lisa Love. Good night again, Mixie. Good night, Philly Girl. Good night, TB. Can't wait to hear the liars tomorrow night. We'll see, Teresa. We shall see. We'll be there, child. So, yeah, I had a Sunday Live scheduled. It's canceled, but I'll see you guys for our Patreon. So join me over there at 6:45 p.m. And also, don't forget, we'll be starting Beauty in Black. We'll be starting that once Real Housewives of Atlanta is done. And we may throw something else on throughout the week. We'll see. We'll see. But I love you guys. I'm out of here. Have a good night. I only sipped a little portion of my drink, so I'm going to try to finish that. Good night, Lady Vi. Yes. Oh, what you cooking? Let me know before we go. You can get done with your dinner for tomorrow. Let me know. Why I just smack my lips like Wendy Williams? Happy birthday to Wendy Williams. I saw a picture, a short video of Wendy out celebrating her 61st birthday with family and friends. Wendy looked good. And I really wish that they would let her out that place, Wendy look good. Hurry up, Lady Vi. Let me know what you cooking. I'll bring up Wendy in the meantime. Good night, Bella. If you guys didn't see Wendy looks good. Let's see. And sounds good. Wendy wishing big time. Happy birthday, 61. Wendy looks good. Wendy got on her dress, child. She looks good. So continue prayers going up to Wendy Williams. And like I say, let that lady out so she can be with her people. All right, Lady Vi said field peas, pasta salad, yams, cornbread, fried chicken, and baked chicken. Oh, child. That sounds amazing. Yes, Gigi, doesn't she? I would just love to see Wendy Williams in that purple chair one more again. You hear me? I really would love to see her back doing her show. Oh, Aunt Debbie. Collard greens, macaroni and cheese, turkey, meatloaf, cornbread, okra, and tomatoes. Oh, my God. My mouth is watering like Wendy Williams. You guys remember when Wendy used to talk about things that people were talking about, food or whatever? Wow, that sounds amazing, Aunt Debbie. Y'all FedEx me a plate. FedEx, put it on some dry ice, child, and FedEx me a plate. I'm making something tomorrow. I want something other than what I've been eating, and I'll decide. I eat some of the same things so much, but because I got a taste for oxtails and I eat them like once a month. But I'll decide. I'm not gonna make a big dinner. But you guys, maybe I'll go somewhere and get me a soul food dish tomorrow. Maybe I'm a text Philly girl tomorrow and see if she know a good soul food spot. I used to go to one, but I forgot. That was back in 2014. Yeah, now I want soul food. So I'll let you guys. Oh, now I want some smothered pork chops, macaroni and cheese, mixed greens, sweet corn. And on my greens, I want tomatoes and onions raw and some cornbread. Oh, J28, you not right. I just said I want smothered pork chops. I'm a fan of them, Ma. Oh, you got the red onions on top of the greens. Yes. Aunt Debbie, do you put a little dab of vinegar or do you cook your greens with vinegar? On my greens, I like white onions and red tomatoes. And if the greens aren't vinegary, I don't even know if that's a word, then I'll put a little dab, just a smidget. Just a smidget. Okay, Teresa, you making oxtails tomorrow? If I don't cook me a soul food dinner, and I may not because it's just me and I took it got it from my mama child. I've put some stuff in the freezer bag in a minute. You hear me? But I can't cook small. I really can't. And I don't want to make too much. So I think I am going to go and pick me up something. Oh, peace, love, and light. See, both of you guys having oxtails. That's what I really want. And I got some of those. So I was just going to make the oxtails and cabbage with the red beans and rice. But you're doing oxtails, fried cabbage, and mac and cheese and sweet potatoes. That sounds amazing. Hey, Simone, child, you late. We exiting. We've been here an hour and 51 minutes, child. I was just saying goodbye to everybody. But join us tomorrow, hopefully, for Real Housewives of Atlanta. We'll be over there on Patreon. Homemade pepper sauce on greens. Oh, that's what you use. Okay. You can't cook small either, Teresa. I just cannot. I just cannot. So if I were to attempt to make just a full Sunday dinner, I promise you it'll be able to feed 6 people. Because for instance, if I buy a pack of pork chops, I know that I'm good with just 2. I'll make the whole damn pack because I say, well, maybe I eat some tomorrow. You know what I mean? And yeah, I waste a lot of food. Some things you can't freeze. But my mama baby was one of those that would put stuff in some freezer bags and pull that stuff out in a couple weeks, and it tastes just like it did when she cooked it. Okay, just a smidget of vinegar for you too, huh? Oh, you got red and white onions. Okay. I'm gonna have to try that. I've only tried red. That's how I've done it my whole life. But I've only had it with white, but I love red onions on my salads and all of that. Fried cabbage sounds good, doesn't it? I make a good fried chicken cabbage dish. And I cook it in my wok. Oh my God, it's so good. So good. You like how Wendy would pull those notes from under her wigs? Yes. I miss her. I do. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this Hot Topic Saturday Night Live. I'll be chatting with you on YouTube soon, most likely Monday. But to my cutie crew and Patroni Cuties, I will see you guys on Patreon tomorrow evening. Let me get my butt up and finish this drink and go to bed, child. I'm tired. All right, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Shout out again to the cutie crew. Shout out to the cutie mods. And shout out to each and every cutie that joined me tonight. I appreciate you guys. And I will chat with you guys soon. Oh, shoot. I said I was going to do Heavy D on the way out. Let me do Heavy because I'm going to have to edit the video anyway. All right, guys. Have a good night. That'll give me a quick second to clean up my little desk. Well, my big desk. All right. Love you guys. Chat with you tomorrow.
little buttercup. Stuck cheeks, knuckle up, get stuck. Believe it or not, here comes a brother with flow. A snuggling, bubbling, overweight, loving, her pro. What's gonna be? Me over CB. Let me make time to your mind and body free. Stretch, force that. Lay rubber, promise rock, cop, quit back. Shake me, baby, take me. Some need to take care of him, come on, take me. Wind your body, baby, move your body. I see you slip sliding, come on, let's do it. I'm not quite sure as to what is going down.
As I'll chat with you guys tomorrow. Bye.